Okay, so just wanted to get a little more of a tough talk in today. And this is coming from me kind of talking to myself, but I figured because it's something that I'm experiencing, maybe I would convey that message to whoever it may help in some way. For me, I feel like a year ago, I set an intention that I was going to, start my own, be the main character of my own story, start my own new beginning. And what happened after that was that everything kind of fell apart in my life. And there was a lot of things that weren't serving me anymore. And I think because of that, it all started falling apart and basically dismantling. From my job to where I live to, just different things like that. So those are the main things. But those are big things in my life. And so because of that, I started to kind of get in this kind of victimized role almost. Like I felt like, oh my gosh, all odds are against me, nothing's working out, our building, like our home isn't working out. And so there's all these things that weren't happening, and they weren't, at least they were going at a very slow pace, and they weren't happening. It feels like it's just, everything is just kind of in a very slow motion. And again, this is something that I chose. I chose to create a new beginning and a new life. And yet, when I find myself in that situation, I go into this passive sort of state, and I'm almost like, woe is me. Why are all odds against me? And, kind of, feeling sorry for myself. And, it's okay to have times like that. It's okay to have moments in your life where you're like, oh my gosh, I just feel like every step I take, every direction I go, things aren't adding up, things aren't working, things aren't, moving in a direction at all. Sometimes it feels like it's completely like you're in stuck state. Okay, but, what are you going to do about it? And that's where I'm at. What am I going to do about it? At this point, okay, I can sit here and blame this person and this circumstance and all these things on, the reason why I'm not going forward. And yet, what am I doing about it? What am I changing in my space, in my mind, in my mindset, in my heart space, in my energy? What am I doing differently to move forward out of this? I don't know. Not sure I am. And so it's time. It's time to start looking inward, looking in the mirror, looking at yourself, at myself, and saying, okay, what is it that I need to do to make the changes in my life so that I can move forward out of this? Because I know in the past, whenever I had my mind set on something and I would, really have my mind set on something, I would just make it happen. It doesn't mean that I didn't have hurdles or blocks or roadblocks or freaking brick walls, but I still made it happen. I still figured out a way. Sometimes I figured out a way that was like so off the wall, but it still worked. It's like the creativity in me just kind of got lost somewhere. And, I don't know if that's, I do have to say, like, a lot of things that I personally went through last year there was a lot of grief involved in that. And there was a lot of like sadness in, like letting go and healing. There's a lot of healing. And I'm not saying that healing isn't a tough process, but I am saying there's a time where you need to just decide that that's over, that's done. I'm done with that now. Or maybe, maybe there's more healing to be done, but in the meantime, I need to make things happen. I'm never going to pull out of this if I don't get into a place where I feel like I'm being constructive and creative and taking action and doing things, being uplifted and being in a place where I feel good and where I'm happy I'm feeling joy. And I don't really remember, it's not like I don't ever have joy, but it's very short-lived the last few, months, year. I just don't, feel that way. And so like, what am I gonna do to change that? Because I have the choice. I have a choice in what kind of state I get to be in. I have a choice in staying stuck and being in this woe is me state of mind, or moving forward into a direction that I know I'm going to be happier in, and that's doing things. That's being creative, and that's doing, and I can't remember the last time I've been, feeling creative. So, I'm just sharing this because this is what I'm personally going through, and, maybe it will resonate with you in some way, but it is, we do have a choice. We do have a choice in whether or not we want to stay in the place that we're in or move forward. Now, sometimes we don't know yet what that moving forward means and what we need to do in order to move forward. But I think sometimes it's just about what kind of energy you're in yourself already changes that motion. So, are you ready? Are you ready to move forward out of this state that no longer serves you? Are you ready to be in a place where you feel happy and excited and creative and doing something that makes you feel alive and makes you feel uplifted and makes you feel like you're living and enjoying and in peace? What are you doing today that makes you feel that way? What kind of step are you taking that makes you feel like you're moving forward to the life that you know that you can have? And you know that you can have it. You know that you can make choices to get there. It's a choice. The human experience, we get to make choices. And I'm not saying there's not circumstances, because trust me, I have circumstances too. I have plenty of circumstances that are holding me up. But what am I doing differently? What can I change? What kind of action can I take in order to get more where I'm the main character in my story of my life? So, question is, what is it that you're, for you to be the main character of your life story? What do you need to do? What small step can you take right now that's going to make you move into that direction and not be subjected to or be at the mercy of other people or other circumstances? What can you do to change that for you? It's time. It's time. I'm ready. Are you? All right. Well, I just wanted to share that with you today. I hope this message helped you in some way. Remember, you matter. You are an incredible human being. And you know what? It's time. It's time to start deciding and choosing things that move you forward in the life that you want to lead for yourself. It's time. You got this. Wishing you an amazing day, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.